Willis in Billericay in Essex, who is a mum to 2 primary school children. Jeff, Francesca and Jill, you're all very welcome. Let me begin with you, Francesca, as a head teacher. What do you make of the announcement? Do you have much detail at this stage?
Well, I welcome the announcement. You know, our children are our national treasure. It's only right that they are invested in and they are secure in the future of the nation as we go forward. I'm very interested to see the detail in the plan, because this really ultimately will determine the success of what we do. In terms of our school, we are looking to put in place some tutoring programmes ourselves. We're linked with Teach First currently to be able to do that. But in order for this to be a really big impact on a generation of children, the government must engage with head teachers so that we get this right. It's an amazing opportunity. Let's not squander it.
Okay, because it all has to be delivered pretty quickly, so that engagement needs to happen quickly. I also mentioned you're the head teacher. Part of the school is a sixth form college, but you won't get any money for those pupils, will you, as we understand it?
Yes, and that really is a great disappointment, because our students at that end of the educational spectrum, they are time limited now, and they are also the next group of workers to be coming into industry and professions. We must have some element of catch-up for those students, and also for early years providers as well. We must get our youngest children off to the absolute best possible start too.
Well, let me talk then to mum of 2, Jill. Jill, what age are your children?
Hello, my children are 8 and 10, so they're in year 3 and year 6.
Okay, so has your year 6 child been back at school a little bit?
A little bit, yes. I know that all schools are approaching things differently. So in our primary school, Jake's been back 1 week on, 1 week off, which is brilliant, and he's been over the moon. It's been great to get him back with some social interaction.
Okay, yes, it is that social interaction, of course, as well as the education. What do you make of what you heard of this plan so far? Do you think, for example, some extra tuition, either one-to-one or in small groups, would really help at this stage?
Definitely, because the academic part and the drift, I think, that most parents are concerned about is really top of the priority list. But I'm just a bit worried that it's kind of all focusing on the academic. It's very much for us about this lack of social interaction for the children as well. And I think while online tutoring will definitely plug a gap, for us, we want to see the children going back into school, you know, with kind of situation where they can be safe, they can be engaging in sports, in creativity, re-engaging with their friends, and a routine, so that when we get to September, it isn't an uphill struggle, and they've actually enjoyed their summer holidays and been kind of getting back to normal a bit too.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what all parents want, of course. And Jeff Barton now, General Secretary of the Association of School and College Leaders, I'm sure you were very interested listening to that reaction with great interest. We heard from Francesca that there hadn't been consultation with head teachers as far as she was concerned. Is that something that you're seeing as well?
Yes, I mean, we've been having conversations with the Department for Education over a number of weeks and been posing all kinds of questions. One of the big questions for children halfway through their GCSE and A-levels, for example, is what will my GCSEs and A-levels look like next year? Are they going to be the same, given I've been out of learning for so long? So we've been engaging at that level. I have to say this came a little bit out of the blue, and therefore we need to look at the detail. But £1 billion is a large amount. And, you know, the good thing about it is it's driven by evidence. And what is the evidence? It's a teacher knowing what the child needs. And then any extra work, any one-to-one or small group tuition, needs to then link with that. And I think that's what the Department for Education has understood. And that gives us a really good opportunity for some young people to really help them to catch up through targeted support.
Okay, so there needs to be really good communication between teachers and whoever is providing that tuition to make sure that they get a real feel for the individual child and what that child needs.
Absolutely, because there's lots of people with all kinds of well-intentioned ideas, a kind of cavalry of people wanting to ride into the rescue here. But what we know is that what will work is somebody who can say, here's what the child actually